If you are fascinated by historical ingenuity and survival techniques, well, subscribe to History Vault now. Today we reveal a little-known World War II ground sheet hack that soldiers relied on to create a durable, tear-resistant surface for sleeping, equipment storage, and even emergency shelter. Unlike modern tarps and synthetic alternatives, this method combined careful material selection, pre-treatment and deployment techniques that allowed the fabric to withstand months of field use, harsh weather and heavy loads. Understanding this hack offers both historical insight and practical lessons for survivalists, reenactors, and anyone working with fabric outdoors. So, why did World War II soldiers need a ground sheet stronger than any modern tarp? Well, modern tarps are certainly convenient and lightweight, but they often fail when exposed to repeated stress, abrasion, or those really extreme conditions out in the field. During World War II, soldiers were operating in mud, rain, snow, and quite often rocky terrain. Supplies, rifles and sleeping gear all needed protection from moisture and dirt, but unfortunately conventional canvas and fabric would often tear or degrade pretty quickly. Field engineers and soldiers soon discovered that by preparing and using fabric in very specific ways, they could actually create a ground sheet that remained resilient under conditions that would destroy many modern alternatives. The choice of fabric determined durability from the very start. The first key to the World War II ground sheet's success was, honestly, the fabric itself. Soldiers and engineers used dense, tightly woven cotton duck, canvas, or sometimes blended fibers. These materials combined tensile strength, flexibility, and the ability to absorb protective treatments without losing their integrity. Unlike modern lightweight fabrics, which, can tear easily under stress, these traditional weaves were engineered to resist abrasion from rocks, mud, and constant use. This provided a reliable base for sleeping and storage. Once selected, the fabric underwent a pre-treatment process using natural oils, waxes, or greases. The material was soaked, brushed or rubbed thoroughly, allowing the fibers to absorb the protective compounds. Heating the mixture slightly improved penetration, bonding the treatment deep within the weave. This process did more than repel water. It reinforced the fibers themselves, reducing tearing even when stretched or pulled. This treatment made the ground sheet far more resilient than most modern waterproof fabrics, which often rely on surface coatings alone. The World War II ground sheet was not simply a flat piece of fabric. Soldiers often doubled it or layered it with other materials when placing it on particularly rough terrain. Tensioning lines or securing edges to stakes distributed weight and reduced stress on any single point, preventing tears from forming. When deployed correctly, the sheet could support sleeping men, heavy packs and equipment while staying intact through repeated use. Modern tarps often fail because they lack this combination of structural strategy and material toughness. Soldiers routinely maintained their ground sheets in the field. Small tears or frayed edges were stitched or patched with spare material, and, well, reapplication of oil or wax preserve flexibility and reinforced fibres. Even in damp, cold conditions, these practices allowed the sheets to maintain performance over months or years of deployment. This attention to ongoing care was a critical factor in durability and is, honestly, a lesson for anyone using fabric in harsh conditions today. Practical applications for modern survivalists and outdoor enthusiasts. This World War II ground sheet hack can still inform modern survival and camping practices. So, you want to get started with a truly durable ground sheet. Begin with tightly woven cotton or canvas fabrics. Next, you'll want to pre-treat the material with wax or natural oils, making sure that the treatment is absorbed deeply into the fibres. When you're deploying the sheet, it's best to layer it or fold it strategically over rough terrain, and then tension the edges or corners to help distribute weight evenly. If you spot minor damage, repair it right away, and every so often reapply oil or wax to keep the fabric flexible and strong. Honestly, these steps can turn a simple piece of fabric into a durable, tear-resistant surface that's ready for extended field use. Now, you might be wondering why this World War II hack still outperforms modern synthetic options. Well, while synthetic tarps are great for their lightweight convenience and packability, they often just can't cope with abrasion, constant weight, or those ever-changing weather conditions. The World War II ground sheet, well, it combined fibre strength, deep protective treatment, and intelligent deployment techniques to create a surface that could survive extreme conditions without tearing. Historical accounts and surviving equipment, they confirm the effectiveness of this approach, showing that the combination of material, treatment, and usage strategy matters just as much as the material itself. The broader lesson here is one of historical ingenuity. This forgotten World War II method really shows the value of understanding materials and applying practical adaptive techniques. Soldiers were not relying solely on chemicals or manufacturing. They carefully combined preparation, strategic deployment, and ongoing maintenance to achieve performance that continues to impress modern engineers. For survivalists, historians, and outdoor enthusiasts, the lesson is clear. Durability is created through technique as much as through materials. If this guide reshaped your understanding of World War II survival innovation, subscribe to History Vault and share it with anyone interested in military ingenuity, historical survival strategies, or practical outdoor solutions. The forgotten ground sheet hack proves that with careful preparation, smart design, and ongoing care, fabric can perform in ways modern tarps cannot, offering lessons that remain valuable for both history enthusiasts and field practitioners today.